Recording in progress.
Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Wilsonville, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 6 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, July 17th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So first off, we'll look at active listing activity. I show that we had 12 homes come on the market in Wilsonville this last week, up a bit from the prior couple weeks, and ended the week at 38 homes on the market. And you kind of see the progression over the past month and a half or so. Had a low of 23, and this last week kind of hit a high at 38. So definitely more inventory on the market than what we've been experiencing here over the past year or so. So median list price and days on market for the actives, not a lot of movement there. It's been pretty steady. Had a low of 695, high of 725, came in at kind of in the middle of that at 713 this last week. And then the days on the market, it's had a low of 11, high of 30, came in at 20 this last week. As these newer listings kind of continue to come on, it's kept this number relatively low. Moving on to the pending sales here. So last week in Wilsonville, I showed we only had 4 homes go pending this last week, which was down from the prior week, but just above kind of the low of 3 here about 5 weeks back. Ended the week at 47 homes in pending status, which you can kind of see, it's kind of in the middle of the range here. Had a high of 58 here to begin with, and it got down to 34. This last week's popped back up a bit. So we'll see what happens here going forward on that. Median price and the days on market for the pendings, that has quite a bit of variability there. Had a low of 619, a high of 715, and this last week came in at 675, which was up from the prior week. And then the days on market for the pendings, you can kind of see that's been it's actually kind of come back down from where it was about a month ago. It got up to about 13 days of average market time for homes that are going pending. This last week, it's kind of cut back down to 8, which is kind of where we began the period here. So, and then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put this together, I show we had 3 homes go close this last week in Wilsonville, which has been very low the past couple weeks here. So when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of activity, you can kind of see that's been dropping here over the past month and a half here. Had a high of 46 here 5 weeks back, and it's kind of stair-step down from there. Came in at 24 this last week. So definitely seeing the effects of lower closings, as things have been going from pending to sold. And then the median price and days on market for the sold listings, you can kind of see where that's been. Had a low of 600, a high of 650. This last week came in at 635, which was just up a little bit from the prior week. And days on market has been between 4 and 8. So we're starting to see things kind of starting to increase a little bit here on the solds. And, that will probably continue to increase as we move forward based upon the pendings. And then finally here, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. The red bars is weeks of inventory. You kind of really see quite a progression here. So we had a low of only 2 weeks of inventory here 5 weeks back. And this last week, it jumped clear up to a little over 6 weeks of inventory. So just, it's the result of more homes on the market and less sales activity. So it's really starting to, drive this number up. So, even at 6 weeks, that's, basically about a month and a half of inventory. I would still classify that certainly as a seller's market environment, but definitely one that's not as nearly as hot as it was here, even a month ago or so in Wilsonville. And then lastly, the sale price as a percent of the list price. That has, it's been pretty steady actually across the period. It started at about 102, got up to about 103%. This last week fell back down to, about 102.4. So Homes are still selling above list price on average in Wilsonville, so it's still a very competitive, environment for buyers. But moving forward, with more inventory on the market and things staying on the market a little longer, I would suspect that this number will probably continue to rise, and the sale prices, percent of list price, will probably kind of drift down as buyers have more choice and are not forced to jump at the first thing that they can. We will see, but definitely seeing the effects of a cooling market environment for sure. So I hope this weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. I certainly would welcome the opportunity to see if my 16 plus years of experience and local market knowledge could be a potentially a great fit for you. So just give me a call at 503-680-2065, and I'd be happy to talk with you about what's happening in the market and how that might affect your specific plans. So I really appreciate you watching, and you have a great day.